One of the things that we like to do is ask our guests to share a tip or a war story. And I want to invite each of you to do that. It doesn't have to be anything super personal, because I know that it could be. I'm sure you have a lot that you could share. And I thought about the fact that, this is the Texas Appellate Law podcast, so I figured we'd give bonus points if your war story related to appeals and something to do with appellate. What do you think?
Kristen, you want to go?
Oh, I would say probably the best that I have are the 3 appellate cases that I've picked up from appellate Twitter followers who have specifically sent clients, and I've had folks that I didn't know called the office and say, someone told me to hashtag hire KVP for this appeal. So that was great. No, that was probably my favorite is just that it all just goes back to that community of, I try to obviously refer out clients that I can't help to folks, and it's easier to do locally with your local bar association, but our pretty special group of especially Texas appellate lawyers who really can refer that out. And then with that, especially me as a young lawyer, who that always turns into, by the way, does anyone have a Word document of a Fifth Circuit brief that you could send me that I can work off of for a form? And y'all are always great for that too. But yeah, the client who questioningly asked if this was the right way to say hashtag hire KVP is probably my favorite.
Pound sign. Yeah.
Oh man, I just laugh because there's so many funny stories. Funny ones, good ones, scary ones. I think that I think one of the best stories I've got, frankly, is, I don't know, frankly, the best story I have to share in this forum is the one that we've already shared. There are, in the very relatively few years that I've been on Twitter, some of these people have been on for like, a decade, 15 years. I've probably been on for 4 or 5. And, among my very closest friends now are women I've gotten to know, and lawyers I've gotten to know through Twitter. And that sounds like I say it out loud and it kind of sounds a little pitiful, but it's really not, because these are not just friends on the platform. These are people I've gone on road trips with and, visited in their homes. And we literally, 2 of us drove to Lubbock and visited Kristen and her mom.
That's right.
And her
that's
dog.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great.
So there have been some, I think that everyone needs to be careful on social media. Everyone needs to not get lulled into too much vulnerability on social media about what you say, to whom you say it. But I think that there are real, genuine connections to be made there. Business relationships like Kristen's talking about now. We met on, I've sent you clients, Kristen. I've gotten referrals because of my profile, but real community, like real connections, real friendships. And right now, it was everything that's going on in the universe. That's a pretty wonderful thing to have. So I'm pretty grateful for that.
It's just sort of ironic that something like Twitter can lead to actual real life human connection.
That's how Todd and I started this podcast.
It's true.
Right.
It's fantastic. I love it.
It's true. Yeah. So, well,
I'm going to add an extra story, and you can cut it out if you want. But
no.
I think my new favorite story is the super fun timeline of appellate Twitter watching the live stream of my wedding, and all of y'all talking to each other during my wedding has to be one of my favorite parts, because I went back and looked at it later, and it's Jody and Kendall and Rafi and so many other people like, can you guys hear the audio of this? Oh, look, she's got a great hat on. I love that. So that's a pretty unique thing that will be a great story forever too.
I don't know if you're the first Twitter wedding, but you have to be one of the few Twitter live streamed weddings, and certainly one of the first ones in the whole lockdown quarantine time.
Okay.
That is a great story, and I think that's a perfect place to finish up for today. So,
And actually, Todd, before we close, we've talked about Twitter a lot. Why don't each of you give your Twitter handles, since we've gotten all this out here? I don't think we've done that yet.
Mine's at KVP Texas.
And I'm Hanks Kendall, Kendall with a Y, Kendyl. And then, of course, there's Lady Lawyer Diary is the handle.
is it diary or diaries?
So the hashtag is Lady Lawyer Diaries, and the way the name is described is Lady Lawyer Diaries plural, but the handle itself is Lady Lawyer Diary singular.